Good evening, friends. Today I am going to take this session on the emergency provisions. Guys, we are done with the interstate relations. So, in the interstate relations chapters, we are done with the legislative relations, administrative relations, and financial relations. Now, I am going to take into an important step, guys, into important chapters of our discussion. That is the emergency provisions. Emergency provisions. Okay. Emergency provisions. What do you mean by emergency provisions? So, what is the need of emergency? Guys, if we take this as simple as possible, in our homes, means in our day-to-day life, everyone will take decisions. Means so in the home, we take the decisions by our father, mother, or even ourselves also take decisions when required, guys. Okay. So in the same manner, in the form of the government, we have the decision making power with respect to the state side. Okay, with respect to the states and with respect to the parliament. With respect to state and with respect to the center, they are having the decision making powers. Decision making powers means this with respect to the normal times. Okay, during the normal times, we have the state and the center. That is, we are having the federal structure. We are having the federal structure. The powers are divided between the center and the state, and the decisions power is with the everyone. That is with the legislative, executive. So the legislative and executive are going to make the policies or anything. Okay. The legislative is going to present. Executive is going to implement. We are having in such a manner, guys. But this with respect to the normal times. What happens if it is an abnormal, guys? What happens if it is an abnormal? What do you mean by abnormal? Abnormal means during the emergency, guys. During the emergency provisions, what happens means what exactly emergency means. Emergency means we have two provisions regarding the emergency, guys. Okay. So here we are speaking about the emergency that are present in the constitutions, guys. Emergency that are present in the constitution. So what do you mean by other type of emergency? Like we are having the climatic issues. Okay, guys, during the floods, earthquakes. So during these times also we call it as an emergency. But we are going to discuss about the constitutional emergency that we are going to discuss in our chapter, guys. Okay, guys, clear? So, but we are in need of the emergency because so every time we will not be having the normal situations. So few abnormal cases will take place. Means when it is called as abnormal. Abnormal means when any country is attacking our Indian country. Or means this is called as external. Or we can say it is internal also. Any rights. Any rights. Okay, guys. Any rights. Okay. So during these times we will be having internal disturbances. Then we should go for the emergency in that situations. So online with this, we have three type of emergencies that have been enshrined in our constitution, guys. Okay, enshrined in our constitution. That is the that we are going to discuss, guys. What are three type of emergencies? So before that, as I said that we are going to have emergency that is during abnormal time. But during abnormal times, we can't get to have take decision by the each and everyone. Like in the home, we have the decisions of taking the father, mother, or the children during the normal times. But same with the abnormal or during the emergency provisions, we will be held with only one, guys. So everyone will become one as the federal. So the word federal, there will be no federal during emergency provisions, guys. Okay, we have only unitary. We have only unitary in the structure, guys. So whatever the things that are present, all these things will become the unitary, guys. All this become the unitary during the emergency. During emergency, guys. Okay. So fine. So they will become the unitary. So what will do? So unitary means the states will be not having the power. So unitary, what exactly unitary means? So there will be someone to rule, guys. they will someone to rule or to implement the laws. But if it become unitary means, then unitary power will be held with the states or with the center, then it is the issue. Okay, unitary means one. Okay, so this one should be state or the center. That is the issue, guys. That is the issue. Whether that unitary functions will be held with the state or with the center, as the state of the X state, like some Karnataka state. So they said that what are the provisions that we are having with respect to emergency, that we are going to take care of that. Okay, some example for some Y state, it will say that we are going to take care of the our state regarding the emergency provisions. But if we see Article 355, it says that during the external war, okay, during the war or external representation, okay, so Article 355 says that during the external aggression, okay, during the external aggression or internal disturbance, okay, and states not following the constitution, and states not following constitution, okay, so during these provisions, so during this time, guys, okay, so Article 355 says that external aggression or internal disturbances and states not following the constitution. Guys, external aggression means with respect to India and the other countries, if there is any issue, that is called external aggression, or internal disturbances means within the country. Plus, if the states like AP, Karnataka, all these things are not following the constitution, so during this time in the constitution itself, it is mentioned that it is the duty of the union. It is the duty of the union, okay, to make into one, that is unitary. So as we are having that whether to rule the center or the state, we have the issue. But Article 355 says that states are not having any provision, but it will be center who will prevail, guys, in unitary. So during emergency provisions, so the center, that is Article 355 says that during these issues, this is called as the emergency provisions. So during this emergency provisions, it is the duty of the union to make into the unitary. So that is union executive is going to function as unitary, guys. So during emergency, the whole power with the union executive. Union executive is the important organ during emergency, guys. Okay, this is the background of the emergency provisions, guys. Okay, so in light of this, we are having the three type of emergency, guys. Okay, we are having three type of emergency provisions. So guys, so if you see online with this, we are having the three types of emergency provisions. Okay, so the three types of emergency provisions, if you see, that is the national emergency. Okay, national emergency. This deals with article number 352. After that, we are having the President's rule. President's rule. This deals with article number 356. After that, we are having financial emergency. This we deal with article 360 days. Okay, so in the second one, we can't say it is state emergency. Like we have the national emergency, we are not having the state emergency. State emergency is not there, guys. Okay, we can't say it as state emergency, guys. Okay, we say it as the president's rule. Okay, so it is the rule of the president, not the state emergency, guys. Okay, so with this we are having the three type of emergency, that is the national emergency, president's rule that will take with article 356, and the financial emergency 360. So in this session I am going to take only this topic, guys, that is national emergency. National emergency. So when we can say it is a national emergency under article 352. So what do you mean by national emergency? Very important concept, guys. Okay, very important. Now we will see what exactly national emergency means. Okay, these provisions we are having in article 352. National provisions, national emergency means it is the one which should be satisfied with president. Okay, so please take the same in this manner. If the president satisfies, okay, if the president satisfied that there is a grave threat to security of India on grounds of war, external aggression, internal disturbance. Okay, then he can proclaim emergency. Okay, so this is very important crux of the national emergency, guys. Okay, if the president, okay, not the speaker, not the PM, not everyone, if the president satisfied that there is a grave threat, there is a grave means extreme threat to the security of the India, to the security of India on grounds of, so on what grounds he will consider, on the war or in the external aggression or the internal disturbances. So if the president feels that there is a grave threat to the security of India on grounds of war, external aggression or the internal disturbances, then he can proclaim emergency, guys. Okay, then he can proclaim emergency. As it said that if the president satisfied, okay, means this is not about the personal satisfaction. Yes, I feel that there is something grave that is going to happen. No, guys, it is not the personal satisfaction. Means here we have included the Council of Ministers, that is cabinet. So through the 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978, through 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978, the satisfied provisions we have included that it should be satisfied by the, means it should be advised. It should be advised by cabinet, that is Union Council of Ministers. Okay, so if Union Council of Ministers will be satisfied, then they will inform to the president. Then they will inform to the president. Then the president can proclaim emergency. As I have satisfied that there is a grave threat, then on according with the following grounds I am making the emergency, guys. Okay, so the war and external aggression we call it as an external emergency. External emergency. Whereas this we call it as an internal emergency. Internal emergency, guys. Okay, so this is an important crux of the discussion, guys. Okay, so this should be satisfied by the advised by the cabinet, guys, that is Union Council of Ministers. Okay, then they will proclaim the emergency, guys. Okay, so after this the work has not done, guys. So if the president proclaims emergency within 30 days, okay, within 30 days, okay, after proclamation, now we will see the process. So how the process will be takes place. So how will be approval of the emergency will be takes place in India. So as this finally through this method the emergency has been set. Okay, so the proclamation of emergency has been happened. Okay, from this date. Okay. Okay, so from this date the proclamation of emergency has been happened, means after this till 30 days. Okay, till 30 days with the president's order only the emergency will be in force. The emergency will be in force, guys. Okay, but within 30 days, that is within 30 days the parliament has to have approval. Parliament has to go for approval. Okay, means the whatever the proclamation that was done by the president will has to make approval by the parliament within 30 days. Within 30 days. So how the proclamation of this will be taking place? So how the approval will be taking place? This approval will be taking place with the special majority. With special majority, guys. Okay, special majority means 2/3 of the members present and voting plus absolute majority. Okay, plus absolute majority that I am discussed in the during amendment of the constitution, guys. Okay, 2/3 of the present and voting and the absolute majority. When this has been satisfied by the both the house of the parliament, then it will be in force. If within 30 days they have not made, then it will be revoked. Means we are not, means this will be not in enforce, guys. This will be not in enforce. So this is the how the parliament go for the approval of the national emergency, guys. Approval of the national emergency. So guys, our topic is the national emergency. National emergency. So in this process they are going to, guys. Okay, after, so finally they will become its emergency, but this will be valid for only 6 months. 6 months. If you want to continue, they need to go for again approval, guys. They need to go for again approval of the parliament for 6 more months. Means first of all we are having 30 days as for the presidents will make proclamation. After months we have 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, like that till indefinite times. Till indefinite times. But this should be made the approval of the parliament. Otherwise it will be revoked, guys. Okay, this is the making of the this is the national emergency approval of the parliament, guys. Okay, so and after this, so finally this have been made, but this have been in the misuse, guys. This have been in the misuse. For to overcome this misuse, why? Because as I said that in the so during the internal emergency I said that internal disturbances. What do you mean by internal disturbances? So but a constitution has not clearly mentioned what exactly internal disturbances means. That's why the 44th Constitution Amendment Act 1978 means again this act only has made the few provisions, guys. Okay, they have made the few provisions regarding the national emergency. That is, they have replaced internal disturbances with armed rebellion. With armed rebellion. So whenever we are finds that there is an armed rebellion, then we are going to have internal disturbances. That is the armed rebellion. Means so it has replaced internal disturbances with armed rebellion, guys. Okay, and after that this has also mentioned that so even though we are having these provisions, even though we are having the national emergency, the article 20 and 21 not going to suspend. Okay, not going to suspend. Okay, means we are not going to lose this article 20 and 21 even though if we are having the national emergency, guys. Even though we are having the national emergency, we are not going to lose the article 20 and 21, guys. Okay, these provisions we have mentioned through the 44th Constitution Amendment Act 1976, guys. Okay, guys, done. So this is somewhat about they have made and they have changed these policies. Now we will see what are the effects of the national emergency. So what are the effects of the national emergency? So from where we are going to change this all the provisions of the national emergency. So effects of the national emergency, if we say we are going to change the schedule 7 guys, okay, schedule 7, okay, schedule 7, because in schedule 7 we are having the state list, union list and concurrent. Okay, so during the emergency all this become into the union guys, all this become into union. So we are having the only one list during the national emergency guys. During the national emergency all the things will be having into one union guys. Okay, after that we are having the financial and executive powers will be redistributed. Okay, executive and financial, these powers will be redistributed. Okay, so the executive and the financial powers will be redistributed guys. Okay guys, so this will be having in, that is this schedule 7 will be going to have the union the more power, executive and the financial will be redistributed again guys. So one more important thing, during the fundamental rights suspension, fundamental rights suspension. So in the fundamental rights suspension, so it says that article 358 says that, article 358 says that only article 19 will be suspended during external aggression, not internal disturbances. It says that Article 350 says that during external aggression, okay, so external emergency, during external emergency it will be suspended. Internal emergency, no guys, that is about article 19. Article 19. So article 358 says that about article 19. So article 358 speaks about article 19. So article 19 during external emergency it will be suspended. It will be suspended. Whereas during the internal emergency it will not be suspended. Then what about the remaining articles? So the remaining articles will be dealt in article 359 guys. Okay, article 359 will dealt with the remaining articles. That is provisions according to the proclamations. Provisions according to proclamation. Okay, so they will be having these provisions according to the proclamation. So we need to see what are the fundamental rights that we are having or not, that we are going to see. So about these are the very important articles guys. Okay guys, so we have done these are the efforts of the during national emergency. Now one more thing we need to discuss, does this comes under the judicial review? Yes, this comes under the judicial review. Why? Because in the Minerva Mills case in the year 1980, in the Minerva Mills case 1980, everything under the constitutions comes under the judicial review. So this will also comes under the judicial review at each and every point. So what happens during national emergency, everything will be under the president's control. So presidents will control everything guys. So in the Minerva Mills case 1980 it says that everything will come under the judicial review. Now how to revoke this national emergency? So this, with respect to this, we are also provisions in through 44th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, through 44th Constitutional Amendment Act, we are also having the provisions regarding this. Okay, so if 1/10 of the Lok Sabha members gave a notice to the president or speaker, then they will go for the special session guys. They go for special session within 14 days. Within 14 days, and this should be passed by the simple majority. This should be passed by simple majority. then it will be revoked. Okay, so if the Lok Sabha passes this with the 1/10 of the members should give the notice to the president or the speaker, then they will go for the call of the special session. So within 14 days they will make the session, but it should be passed by simple majority, then it will be revoked. So what exactly the essence? So this is about the national emergency. If you see what exactly the essence, the emergency provisions are required, guys. The emergency provisions are required, but in the same time it's safeguarding also very important. So now last and but not least, guys, so till how many means in India how many times the national emergency have been proclaimed? So in India the national emergency has been proclaimed 3 twice, guys. Okay, three times we have national emergency in India, national emergency. Okay, so the first one, guys, the first and foremost time we are having is during the Indo-China war. So during the Indo-China war, that is in the 1962 to 1968 time we are having the emergency, guys. 1962 to 1968, and after that we are having Indo-Pakistan wars, Indo-Pakistan. Then we are having 1971 to 1977, guys. 1971 to 77, and third one we are having during the internal, guys. So this is called as the external. Okay, this is the external, guys, external aggression. And third one is the during political instability. So during political instability we are having the internal, guys. Okay, that is in the year 1975, that is June 25th to 23rd March 1977. Okay, this Indo-Pakistan emergency has been continued on par with the political instability, guys. Okay, during Indira Gandhi madam's rule, guys. During Indira Madam Gandhi rules, guys. Okay, guys, and the 44th constitution have made one more thing, guys. So during this time what happens, the Indira Gandhi madam asked to go for the national emergency. Okay, guys, but the then president, that is Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad, said that so without the consent of the Council of Ministers they can't go for the president's proclamation. Then Indira Gandhi madam said that no problem, you go and proceed, I will take care of those things. But so on lines of this they have mentioned that to the 44th Constitution Amendment Act, it should be done with the written advice. Okay, so when the Council of Ministers gave the written advice to the president, then only he can proclaim emergency. Otherwise, he can't proclaim emergency, guys. Okay, with this I am closing my session, guys. That is about the national emergency, guys. Okay, thank you one and all.